call this computer. All right, so I've said earlier, meet me. My name is Olarajo Samuel. I'm a Nigerian by tribe. My tribe is Yoruba. I'm a computational linguist expert here in Kigali. Currently in Kigali, really. I teach natural language processing for linguists. I'm interested in the responsive AI, especially to data set building, semantic annotation, for different NLP tasks. I speak Yoruba, Nigerian Pidgin, Hausa, Python, and R. I love music. I do music. I enjoy documenting, learning about different human languages and culture. I've documented Ukumi, Olumwego, Mada, Ope. I mean, just about 11 to 12 languages. Right. So for this, I would like to meet us one after the other. We have just like 30 seconds. What is your name? What are your research interests? What are you hoping to learn from this meeting? Any advice for the group? Who is going first? Let's go one after the other. You just want to just tell me your name. What are your research interests? What are you hoping to learn better so that I can know how to serve us better, really? Who is going first? Can we hear me? All right, Papi Lemiko, is it Papi Lemiko? I don't know. Pardon me.
Yes, it's Papi Lemeko.
Okay.
My name is Papi Lemeko. I'm from Free State. I'm working at Central University of Technology. My research interest, I had this thing about not developing as such, but also collecting terms for ICT terms for Sesotho as one of the low-resourced languages. And maybe what I'm hoping to learn from this meeting and maybe the advice, it's how one maybe can empower his or her own language. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Who is going next? Please, should I call our names? Obu, is it? Okay. How
Apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Zebe Chimundu. I'm a retired professor. I do some consulting I'm from Zimbabwe. I do some consulting for Midland State University in Zimbabwe, and we're trying to set up a language technology unit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Onyekachi Obu, can we have you? Thank you, Prof.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
My name is Onyekachi Omu from Nigeria. I recently graduated from the University of Nigeria, where I studied zoology and environmental biology. So I developed interest in NLP and the promotion of indigenous languages. So currently I cannot be specific about my research interests, but I would love to learn more about how to develop around indigenous languages in general and how to promote Igbo language. So that's what I'm hoping to learn from the classes. Thank you.
All right, so who is going next? Ada is a something like that.
Yeah, hi. My name is Ada Izi Uwoba. I am a PhD researcher at the University of Leeds, and my PhD research, it's around predicting machine translation errors in for low resource languages, and I'm working with English, French, and Igbo. So I'm doing some work in Python, and I've done some basic courses. So I'm just looking to improve my skills, especially for the second phase of my research. So that's basically why I'm here, and more on test processing and everything about this phase of my research, actually.
Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Who is going last? Please, can we just make it a bit snappy? We don't need that much time.
Hello, Sam.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bode Adedeji from the University of Lagos, and my research interest is linguistics, and more particularly social and semantic computational linguistics, where I can, predict meaning with machines, especially as it can help machine translation as well. Well, I'm hoping to improve upon my skills, especially in the areas of Python, which I am quite familiar with, but I'm having issues relating, when you know something, but bringing it into your work is a bit difficult, the annotation part and all. So, what advice for the group for now? It's my first time, so I would like to just take the lectures, then we can always talk on my observations. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Who is going next, please?
Okay. Good everybody. My name is Blessing Chidebere. I finished from Unilag. So my courses has always been on indigenous languages, that is Igbo language. So my interest is more like a language preservation and documentation, and being able to impute all this in these different machine languages that is in vogue now will like go a long way. So I'm not used to all those machine language and how to operate them. So that's why I'm here to be able to like add all this to what I know already about the indigenous languages.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we are glad to have you. Next person, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ebitari Obikudu. I'm a linguist at the University of Port Harcourt. I'm interested in describing and documenting Nigerian languages, especially the minority languages. And I would really like to see how the digital divide, which we observe in less described or low resource languages, can be bridged, especially what I can do as a linguist with probably little or no knowledge of computational and linguistics. So I'm really hoping to learn a lot from the sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We are glad to have you. The next person, please. The next person, please. I think we are done. Are we done? Okay. It's okay if you don't want to introduce yourself, but let's just jump into the section. Today, it's more of introduction and less of formal teaching, really. So I ran a kind of test before this meeting so that I can see the demographics of the language and the language of the one spoken natively and the ones we know. And then this was the result I got. Basically, they are Nigerian languages. We have few people from Sesotho, somebody from Malawi, somebody speaking Spanish, somebody French. But basically, we have major Nigerian languages, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. Then we have Africans. Then we have Chinese. Then we have Isizulu. And then, so this is just the result of what I got. And then the result from the country. So here we have, you can see from these charts, we have people around Africa, like this is West Africa from Nigeria, this is East Africa, then we have some people from South Africa, and somewhere around there, up here, and then somewhere around here. Yeah, so we don't really have people from this. So why this course? This course was born out of the desire because of the marginalization of linguists in NLP. What happened is that we have many LLMs, large language models being rolled out with, for me, or from what I've observed and found out, with less of linguistic incorporation, because it's more like NLP practitioners are working on building models, linguists are working on understanding human language. Of course, we share similarities in terms of saying, when I say we, I mean the linguists and the NLP practitioners. We share kind of similarity in terms of the fact that we are studying languages, or we are using language as a tool. But while they are building a model, a linguist is aimed at understanding why a language is being spoken, what varieties of, why do we have the language? So so what happened is that because linguists don't really have the architectural knowledge, the computational knowledge, so they kind of marginalize them to just use them as a tool in their research. I mean, so they can have a project that they just call on language native speakers, which I term linguists here, and then I just say, okay, well, we have this project. Can you just annotate this data? And then that was all. I mean, we don't get to even know what project is all about. What are you trying to achieve? What are we trying to do? It's just more like you are laborers. We are the project owners. So that is kind of marginalization I'm trying to talk about. And then inadequate collaboration between natural language processing practitioner and linguists. So yeah, because we don't get the computational knowledge, or we don't have the computational power most of the time, there is little or no collaboration. You can see there is a divide between what linguists are doing and what NLP practitioners are doing. So inadequate awareness of NLP by native speakers of African languages. When I mean African languages, I mean low resource languages, particularly. Sorry to use just only African languages. All right, so we tend to not be aware of what is going on as low resource African language speakers, because especially we linguists, right? Because we don't really know what is going on, because we are not doing Python, we are not doing R, we are not doing just like that. So we don't speak the computer language. So we are not really aware of what NLP is doing. So we don't incorporate what NLP is doing into linguistics, and we don't know what linguistics is doing with NLP. Yeah, I think somebody doing something. All right. So now creation of awareness in data policy, awareness and business. So this course is aimed at bridging the gap. Apart from bridging the gap, apart from making you aware, we are going to be talking about the data policy that we have. What do we do as linguists when it comes to data policy? We don't go about, because we don't commercialize the data, we kind of just use consenting. So the ethics and research is more like got the consent from, and then we are free to use it. That's really for publications. And then creation of more opportunity, relevant opportunity, that is this course is aiming at. All right, so we have the proposed outline, but I will need us to really give a contribution. So it's gonna run for the number of weeks here, and then each point shows each week. So this week we are in course introduction and description. Next week we're doing linguistic and natural language processing. So here I aim at showing us linguistics and then the basis of natural language processing. Week 3, I aim at showing us data set building, curation and annotation, everything theories. What is data policy, data business, and everything like that. All right. So, and then the 4th week, we're going to be talking about practice. So we're going to go more dirty, like we want to get our hands dirty on data collection, data building. So we have assignments, we have classwork, we have groups, we have people working on different projects, different NLP tasks. Then we'll build an open source data set. Hopefully we are able to do that. Then from the data set we build, we're going to be having a practice session on how to annotate them. linguistic annotation and NLP annotation, two different things, but of course they can be related. We will look at that in our class. Then practical class on dataset publication and curation. So as a linguist, how do you publish your dataset? In what format do you publish your system? What do you do about data curation using CMDI, IMDI, dataset management? Corpus linguistics is what we're going to be checking. What is corpus linguistics? What is corpus linguistics all about? Then we'll look at a bit of dataset build business, like what is the business of dataset? Now, tentatively, I'm looking at introduction to text manipulation in Python, statistical analysis in R, and introduction to text manipulation in R. But it's not really sure yet because I want to make this course less technical in terms of the programming. So I'm not here to push you to throw out the data, the Python, the R, but if time permits or if we are able to get along well, then we would be able to do smoothly just later on. Because if I would take Python, I may have to take the basis of Python before we have to do text manipulation in Python. Then I may have to take the basis of R, then text manipulation in R, then statistical analysis in R. But these are just tentative. But from first week to the dataset building business, it's sure we're going to be taking those session by session. So course outcomes. What do we expect after taking this short study? So demonstrate knowledge of data annotation, annotate data for different NLP tasks, create open source data set, annotate open source data set, then publish a paper on different NLP tasks if possible. So these are just a few outcomes I think about in this course. So we have plans. So I am thinking of plans on how to make this work better. So on how to make this study, it's just an hour study. It's not a big deal. It's just more like a meetup kind of. So I would love us to talk about how do you think we should make up these training sections? What do you think would be best for us? So I list here having classes, division into the set classes. So we have different teams working on different projects. When I say project, I'm talking about data, building open source multilingual data for different every task. So when we have a data set, because we have different native speakers and mostly linguists, we would have a primary data set. So we translate from, let's say we have a data set in English that is a sentiment analysis. We're going to have that data set translated to Igbo, to Hausa, to Yoruba, to whatever language representation we have in this team. And then we can train a multilingual language model using our data set, or we can just collaborate with NLP practitioners, especially those on Masakanin, Bazaar. We can just bring them together. So we have this data set, we want to train this model, and then we collaborate. So that we can see what collaboration would do, we can see how to collaborate and how to work on real life projects. So I'm thinking of having trainings. So apart from the fact that I would be facilitating the class, we have members of this team or the members of this class that may have different knowledge about different things. We can have them go over the trainings for us instead of me doing all the teachings, so to say. But we have everyone trying to understand why we are here and trying to make things work better. So reading books, materials, and chapters. So we're sharing reading books, and then we have a chapter we have to read concerning a given task, like these courses, like linguistic and natural language processing, or data set reading, accuracy, and annotation. So we have the kind of chapters that we read. Then sharing ideas and opportunities. So do we have opportunities? Do we have funding opportunities? Do we think we can collaborate on different projects? Do we think? So these are just the plans. It's very short. Do we have questions? So yeah, I would need us to give our input on this class and how to run it better, how to make things work better. What do we think about it? What do we suggest?
Oga Sam.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for
Yes.
having us. You mentioned probably you have to go through the basics of Python. That is if you have to go that far. Can we have a situation where we would do some YouTube on our own on the basics of those programming languages? I'm saying this because I know too well that if you do basics of Python in 3 hour stretch, if you do it in a week, it's kind of difficult to catch up with if one does not really know what you're talking about from the beginning. So if we have some YouTube on our own, there's a lot on YouTube that can help us, pre-installing it, doing the hello world thing from the beginning. Then you can go into your own basics and we'll catch up. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so that
I
we
think
won't waste much time on that.
Yeah.
So we can do a lot of background work before coming into that section of the class. So that's just my own rough idea as you were speaking. Just occurred to me that might not be able to do everything when it comes to the programming language for us.
Yes, I see what you mean. Do we have other suggestions? Yes, Ada is a. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm kind of leaning towards what Adedeji is saying because another thing is some of us already like kind of have some background knowledge and I believe everyone doesn't have the same like knowledge of Python or R. So I don't know if the basics would be very convenient to work on, just as Adedeji was saying, and it might like feel a bit boring for some people who already like have the knowledge. I'm just speaking for myself. I'm sorry if it's not the opinion of others. So I'm just saying like some of us would benefit from more like other aspects and not just the basics. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So what about others? What are we saying?
Yeah, good evening. I think I support what Mr. Mujib is saying, like people probably going on YouTube, or if you have a few YouTube videos that you can recommend that you think is simple enough for anyone who do not have like any knowledge at all about Python or R, for example. Like for example, I am familiar with Python strings, but not that of R. So probably from your own standpoint, because you'll be the one teaching, there might have been some, like when you were learning, there might have been some YouTube videos you might have watched that you think are simple enough for anybody to like grab, so that when you then do say 30 minutes just to like talk about the basics and we can move, because like I think that would allow us to, one, move faster, two, like the last speaker said, catch up with probably those who have much knowledge away from the basics, so that we can balance things, so that those who are really familiar with the programming language would not see the class as not useful, and those who do not have the knowledge won't feel left out. So we can have a sort of balanced class, and probably we can direct such classes like these statistical analysis in now. Yeah, probably we can have a direction so that like it will be something new where those who are just learning would understand the basics and they'll be able to follow. Then those who have like deep knowledge in the language itself would then be able to like apply that particular knowledge they have. Then if it then comes to like probably forming a team, I really don't know how that would work, because like I trust everybody here wouldn't have the same schedule. However, for the purpose of learning and teamwork, yeah, probably when it comes to this coding side, probably those who have much knowledge can then team up with those with basic knowledge to like work on a particular task together. So it is like beneficial, you get. So those who have lesser knowledge get to learn on from those who have like much more knowledge in the programming language. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. Maybe I should retreat again. Thank you for the suggestions, they are great. So I put Python R as tentative classes because we don't know how fast we will move. I have just about 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks left. I mean, free for me. So I'm not really sure we would get to Python. I am not really sure. So that is why I put it as tentative. Let's see what happens in the course of learning and sharing ideas. So this is not a kind of a lecturing thing, really. It's more of a collaborative work where we all come together to share ideas. Of course, somebody facilitates. So it's not that I'm a kind of a knowing, not a kind of a knowing thing where I just want to, get us on. But at least I just aim at empowering linguists, basically. So we would dwell more on linguistic software than we dwell more on NLP softwares. I mean, the computational power will be less of NLP. I mean computer science, and more of linguistics. So that is what I want to say. So if you are doing statistical, we can do analysis, corpus analysis in using ANSCOM, for example. You don't necessarily have to use R. So stuff like that. So it's just like making it a step back. So if we do this kind of iteration, for example, then we can do another iteration. So if we cover the data set business, and then we are doing another iteration, so we can focus more on the technical aspect. Well, the first iteration, actually, my focus is more on linguists and less of computational science. So if you are a computational linguist, well, it's just sad that in the market, there's barely a difference between NLP practitioner and a computational linguist because they all are doing Python, they all are coding, so for me, it feels like a computational linguist should be more of language to computer science, while an NLP practitioner should be more of computer science to language. So two directions. Somebody is having language knowledge, seeing how it applies in computer, and somebody is having computer knowledge, see how it applies in language. But it's just like it doesn't really have a difference when you are practicing, because when you're computational linguist, you are more of, you should have Python knowledge, you should have this. So that is why if I'm saying computational linguist, if I'm saying NLP, I mean they are the same. So my aim is just to, how do we prepare ourselves as linguists as a valuable input, for example, to an NLP practitioner? That is the kind of question I want to be answering. Like, okay, how as a linguist, just having phonology knowledge or syntax knowledge, for example, or being a semantics, being a syntactician, or being a sociolinguist, what do I contribute to NLP just with my linguistic knowledge? So I'm not aiming to make a computer science out of a linguist, rather seeing where a linguist can collaborate with an NLP practitioner. Right, so I just want to make that that clarity so that we can see how it works. Thank you. So do we still have suggestions from people before we call it a day? Because I'll make this class very fast, very quick, straightforward, straight up, so that we don't get to, I know we all have a lot of things doing, so, and then it's weekend. So please, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna put my WhatsApp number on this chart. So I want to share a link with us, but it will take a bit of time, and I don't want to waste most of our time. So I'm gonna share my WhatsApp here. Just if you are not, just kindly send me hi on WhatsApp. I will share the link with you so that you can fill the form. So it's a form I prepared to know our emails, and then maybe our languages, so that I can send a reminder, and then I can share the links to the social media platform for those that are not on it, because we have a WhatsApp group and we have a Slack. So if you are not on those, you can equally join. So I'm going to share I'm sorry, it's not really professional, but this is all I could get. This is all I could get at the moment, just to keep it a bit simple. So, so do we have other suggestions? Do we have other questions about the team, about the teaming up? So I was hoping that we discuss more on this course. So I think somebody is raising hand. Yeah, Ada is a could we hear you?
No, I thought like you were concluding or something, but I just wanted to say we haven't thanked you for, or I haven't thanked you for this idea of yours and the collaboration and everything. It's a very what's the word for it now? It's a good vision, it's a great one, and we really want to thank you for putting this together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful. So yeah, that is the idea. So kindly chat me up. Do we have the WhatsApp? Just don't, not really chat. I mean, just send hi. Like I already got the gist. I will just send you the link, and then you just join the channels, and then you give us your email so that when I'm sending the reminder for the study group, we could get it quickly. And then if we have issues or stuff like that, we can just throw it out there. So yeah, so I'm saying that we'll rest more on linguistic software. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So we will be using more of linguistic softwares, as I said earlier. It's less of programming and more of linguistics. And then so we could just get our headway. So if we don't have other questions, do we have concern going forward? Do we have questions? All right, so if we don't have any other questions, can we just call it a day? So in Kinyarwanda, they say murakoze, that is thank you. Right, so we would meet next week, and then of course, kindly send me hi message so that I can equally share the link with you. All right, so somebody just joined. Yeah, I'm gonna be sharing the link. I shared my number. I don't know whether you can see my number on the chart. I'm gonna copy it now and put it here again so that if you wanna just reach out, or should we use the email? So let me just do something. Let me put my email here. So this is my number, and then this is my email. So if you prefer, so yeah, those are where you can reach out to so that I can share the link with you, and then whatever resources we have. Thank you so much for making it to this study group, and I will be sharing the next chapter we'll be reading by email or on our Slack channel, on our WhatsApp. Then I'll be sharing what particular chapter you're reading and why you're reading that chapter, and then so that we can prepare ourselves for the next section. For now, thank you so much for coming. We would be meeting next session. So let me stop recording.